I am Notme, conceptual artist, free thinker, big fan of James Spader, and I'm here to ask, is it art? This episode, Minifork.
Fork, 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 but tiny. Minifork.
The Minifork is made of a metal of some kind. The Minifork lives in my cutlery drawer. The Minifork is minier than all of my other forks. I have no ruler or tape measure, but I know with confidence that this Minifork is around 4.5 inches long. But what really grabs me and kisses me passionately whilst sucking on my teeth, as is the fashion at the moment, kiss-wise, is what the purpose of the Minifork is. For most people, having a fork of this stature would make it a child's fork, perfectly sized for chubby little grubby hands to grasp and shovel as many fish fingers, beans and alpha bites into their mouth as they can. Hashtag perfect dinner. But are there any children in my home? Depending on me? Relying on me? Loving me? I'll let them answer that. Children, come and say hello to my audience. Nothing, which means that this Minifork is not a symbol of my virility, fertility, sexual mobility, but my sophistication. A child's fork? No. This is a cake fork. A cake fork. And it's there that the true meaning of this Minifork becomes clear. In life, you will meet many people and judge them instantly. It's human nature, and a lot quicker than getting to know somebody properly. Now, yes, most of the time, your instant judgments will be right on the money, because you've taken into account their hairstyle, the quality of their shoes, generally how poor they look. But sometimes, you'll make a judgment that's not only untrue, it's also incorrect and wrong. You'll assume someone's honest and straightforward. Turns out they're totally all about drama. You'll assume someone has a good sense of humour. Turns out they don't even laugh at your jokes. You'll assume someone's Caucasian. Turns out they're albino. You'll assume someone's cultured. Turns out they haven't even watched Pretty in Pink. You'll assume someone is aggressively egotistical and rude. Turns out they're just speaking their mind honestly and therefore can't be criticised. You'll assume someone is refined. Turns out they don't even own a cake fork and eat their cake with their hands. Like a savage. The lesson is, when you make your judgments, make them strong and make them bold, but always be open to the idea that some people don't live into stereotypes. They stride boldly forward, only playing by their own rules. Does that remind you of anybody? Me. The point is, don't always assume that you're correct in your judgments. For as the saying goes, don't assume, it makes a fool of the pair of us. Or something. This fork represents the false judgments we as human beings have to make in life. Savagely unkind, tragically necessary, hideously depressing. But is it art? Well, you tell me.